Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is me Muhammad Asnan and welcome back to another video. So in our today's video, we're going to talk about electronic configurations, and this is the episode number 2 of chemistry series. This is a series which contains the core concepts, so make sure you follow this throughout by liking all the videos and following them up. So firstly, let's start by a quick recap and introduction of our today's topic. So as we know that all atoms have electrons in form of shells, and if you want to know more about atomic structure, then you can check out my previous video which was on the same by clicking on the link above. Now electrons have a negative charge, as we know, so these electrons are divided into shells into an atom, and we have to remember one thing, that the most outer shell of an atom is known as the valence shell. You have to remember this. Now let's go on to electronic configurations. So we know that every shell of an atom has a capacity to hold electrons. This means that every shell can hold a specific number of electrons. For example, the first shell can hold 2 electrons, the second and third shells can hold 8 electrons, and the fourth and so on shells can hold 18 electrons. So the order of configuration is 2, 8, 8, 18. For example, here's a quick example of hydrogen, which has the atomic number of 1, so there is 1 electron. So its electronic configuration will be 1, and only the first shell will be occupied, as you can see in this diagram of an hydrogen atom. Now let's move on to more examples. For example, calcium, which is the 20th element in the periodic table, and it has the atomic number of 20. So there are 20 electrons, and out of the 22 will go into the first shell, as it has the capacity of holding 2 electrons. 8 will go into the second shell and 8 will go into the third shell. Now we have remaining 2 electrons. So those 2 electrons will go into the fourth shell, although the fourth shell has the capacity to hold 18 electrons, but since we only have 2 more, so it will go into the fourth shell. So the electronic configuration of calcium will be 2, 8, 8, 2. Now let's move on to the relationship between electronic configurations and the periodic table, and there are 2 important facts you need to remember. The first one is that elements in the same group have similar number of electrons in the outer shell, means the valence shell, as I told you earlier. So the number of valence electrons equals to the group number. For example, lithium, which is has the electronic configuration 2, 1, so it is in group 1 as there is 1 electron in the outer shell. Similarly, sodium is also in group 1 and it has the same number of electrons in valence shell, as the electronic configuration is 2, 8, 1. So in both of these elements you can see that the valence electron is 1 and they are both in group 1. Now the second one is that the period number gives the number of shells occupied or the highest shell occupied. So using this way you can count the number of shells an atom has and you can get the period number. For example, the electronic configuration of potassium, symbol K, is 2881. These are 4 shells. So this means that potassium is in group 4, which is correct because potassium is in group 4 and it has 4 shells occupied. Now let's move on to the octet rule. Now what is the octet? Octet means the outer shell of an atom, means the valence shell, and the octet rule is that atoms should have 8 electrons or they should have the full valence shell, whatever the capacity may be, when they are bonding. When they combine with each other, bonding will be discussed later on in the series. So only the 8th group of elements, which are known as noble gases, they obey the octet rule, and that's why they're known as noble gases, as their valence is full. For example, neon, which is a noble gas, it has the electronic configuration 2, 8. So this means that the second shell, which has the capacity of 8, is full because the valence electrons are 8. Another example is argon, which is another noble gas, and it also has a complete octet. As you can see, helium, neon, argon and krypton, all of these are noble gases and they do obey the octet rule. Now, how reactive an element is, this totally depends on the outer shells. And since noble gases have a complete octet, they are completely unreactive. Now let's move on to the key summary of today's video. So we know that electrons in an atom are divided into shells in the order 2, 8, 8, 18, which is the configuration. And then the period number of an element is the same as the number of shells in that atom. And then the group number is the same as the number of valence electrons in an atom. Elements from the same group have same number of valence electrons, so their reactivity is also similar. As I told you earlier that the valence electrons decide how reactive an element is. So elements from the same group have same number of valence electrons, so their reactivity will also be similar. Noble gases only obey the octet rule. This means that their octet is complete. Now this was all about our today's video. I hope so that you find this video factual. If you did so, then don't forget to like this video, subscribe my channel so that you can get the next episodes of this series, and don't forget to share this video with your family and friends. Thanks for watching.